Guys, do you remember when I sat down with CD Projekt Red and asked them about Cyberpunk 2077 and their microtransaction? This was hard-hitting journalism, okay? And this is what they said to me.
We're definitely not going to have microtransactions in Cyberpunk. No.
Listen, man, I don't know who you think you're fooling. It's 2019. There's going to be loot boxes and microtransactions. Are you going to sit here and tell me that we're not going to see any microtransactions in Cyberpunk?
They're not. They're not. No microtransactions are not in the game.
No, I'm done. No, that's great. 2019, no microtransactions. I'm done.
Now, liars, everybody. Absolute liars. How dare they? I'm so glad I walked out. I was right the whole time. I was right, Ralph was wrong, which always happens.
Just to be clear, they haven't actually said microtransactions are going to be present in the multiplayer mode.
What are you talking about? Are you seeing the articles? The YouTubers? Man, they're going to be microtransactions.
Seems like people are kind of jumping to a conclusion on this one, and they're maybe putting words in CD Projekt Red's mouth.
If one thing that Laymen never does is jump to conclusions, everybody, okay? There's no way there's microtransactions. I'm not hearing this. I cannot wear this silly jacket anymore. I'm over with you guys, okay? Please send me a copy of Cyberpunk still, but I hate you guys.
Wake the fuck up. We have
surprise mechanics.
Guys, Cyberpunk 2077, it's kind of a big deal.
I mean, I've never heard of it.
Recently, they unveiled one of their new cars in the game, which
very excited about that.
People were very pumped about that one.
Yeah, Elon Musk, you know, I think he did that presentation fantastically and showed the features of the car, especially the exterior and how strong it was.
Do people get upset at you if you do certain things? There's tobacco and marijuana in there.
So obviously, excitement for Cyberpunk 2077 is at fever pitch, and one of the reasons that people are so excited about that game is because it's made by CD Projekt Red, a developer with a very long history of providing a very high quality product and monetizing it very fairly.
And better still, no microtransactions.
They've gone on the record many times over the last year, basically making fun of the idea that this game would have microtransactions. They told us to our face that would be the case.
I was the hard-hitting journo then, okay?
Recently, the same developer that we interviewed went on the record and said that it's a bad idea to add microtransactions to games post-release. There was also a trailer that came out recently that asked, will this game have microtransactions? And it said, are you nuts?
That didn't work out well. In the world of Cyberpunk, few things go as planned.
Ooh. So, like, they've gone all in on this message of no microtransactions, and today's news has thrown people into a bit of a tiz.
It's been a panic attack, an internet panic attack in the gaming community, Reddit, Twitter, YouTubers, the media outlets in general. Everyone's just going crazy, people, okay? So I think everyone was like, oh my God, they've gone back on their word.
Everyone turn around and look at this.
Now just relax. For once, you didn't do anything wrong. Just explain yourself and everyone will understand.
Surprise mechanics.
Yes, we know.
He confessed! Okay.
But have they, ladies and gentlemen? That is the question.
So what happened was that there was an earnings call today for CD Projekt Red, which is a standard thing because they are a publicly listed company in Poland, which means they need to front up and answer questions on behalf of shareholders and whatever else. And, you know, things were said, and they're talking about what's going on, and they're talking about what's going on in the Chinese market.
Where are you going with this?
No.
No, keep going. I'm loving this.
There were some questions about will Half-Life Alyx impact the sales of the game because it's coming out in a similar window, and CD Projekt Red are like, lol, no.
Yeah.
There were questions about Tencent for some reason. They were like, hey, what's up with Tencent? You guys get involved with that?
CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk 2077 mobile, Cyberpunk Immortal. Shit is happening.
Cyberpunk Immortal.
I'm excited.
I would download that. The other other thing that they discussed though was monetization in the multiplayer mode. So just in case anyone doesn't know, obviously Cyberpunk 2077 is a single player focused game. It's going to be, you know, similar to The Witcher. It's a big sprawling single player RPG, 60 plus hours long, huge in scale. That's their focus, and they've said that from day dot. But they've also said that in addition to that, they are in the early stages of developing a multiplayer mode for the game. They said it's in R&D phase right now. They said they've got one studio working on it. They say it's very, very far from release.
And just to be clear, this is going to be a single player game, right? It's always been marketed as a single player experience. So this new multiplayer, whatever it's going to be, has been an addition. It's going to be a separate thing entirely.
Yeah, it's not part of the core value proposition. It's not like they've said, guys, buy Cyberpunk, it will have multiplayer. And everyone's like, well, where's the multiplayer? It's not there yet. It's kind of like, look, buy a really complete $60 single player campaign, and then later on we'll talk about that, right?
And I think it begs the question then, like, okay, if this is going to be a separate thing, then what's the monetization structure there,
Exactly right.
And they did actually go on record. Now, there's an interview that took place, and about halfway through it or whatever, they start talking about the monetization possibilities of this multiplayer, and this is what they said.
Yeah, and as far as the monetization on the multiplayer for Cyberpunk is concerned, we believe right now it's definitely too early to share any details on that or give guidance. The project is in relatively early stage. We keep experimenting. That's our first multiplayer game. And we check different options and possibilities, and it's definitely not the time to point you to a certain specific direction on that.
Yes, but you can expect that we won't change our general policy toward deals with gamers, so expect wise monetization and always value for money.
I think there's a few important things to note with this, okay? First of all, I think a lot of people are taking this statement as confirmation that Cyberpunk 2077 will have microtransactions. That's the headline you're seeing absolutely everywhere.
Come on over here. Come on over here. No, you flipped me off. Come on, coward. No. Come on. You're not an intellectual. You're a fake and a fraud.
But like, he never said microtransactions. No. He said monetization. They said that they are exploring monetization for this game, but it's far too early to pass any judgment or provide any commentary. And furthermore, when they do monetize it, it will be very in line with their existing values and their existing sort of contract with players. So what this could mean is that this multiplayer mode might actually be a completely separate, you know, like standalone thing, like an expansion, like, you know, one of the expansions that they sold for The Witcher. You might pay $10 or $20 for it, and that's it, one and done. That's not a microtransaction. That's an expansion to the game, or a DLC, whatever you want to call it. Something fundamentally different than, you know, baking microtransactions into that experience.
Yeah, look, I mean, if it was EA and they were coming out and saying that stuff, I'd be like, hold on a second.
Extra
what the
doubts.
hell is going on here, right? But look, I mean, look at the track record for a second, okay? Now, look, firstly, it is very ambiguous. We don't know exactly what this is going to look like. They've pretty much just said, look, we're looking at options how we want to monetize this. That's all they've said for now, right? But if we look at their, you know, history with Witcher, with their DLCs, 20-hour long, you know, DLCs a piece, it's been very value for dollar. Now, I don't think we're going to see some pay-to-win, shitty monetization structure that completely destroys the multiplayer situation.
For sure.
It's not going to be like that.
And just to be clear,
well, from what we think.
For sure. I mean, right now, everyone is running on no information. Everyone's running crazy right now, like, oh my god, we don't know. Like, we're not saying that there aren't microtransactions in this game. There might be. They might do a battle pass. They might do cosmetics, whatever else.
Loot boxes.
All loot boxes, very unlikely though. The door is definitely open on that front now that they've confirmed that they are exploring ways to monetize that multiplayer mode, okay? But what we're saying is, you can't say it's definitely microtransactions. You can't say it's definitely not. There's just not enough information circulating at this point.
Yeah.
So I think everyone kind of needs to pump the brakes right now.
They need to chill the hell out, everybody.
Exactly
but
right.
Look, I understand why people are skeptical.
For
look
sure.
at the current climate. We've seen so many multiplayer games or live services or whatever that want to continue giving you content, and they just want to try and monetize it in the worst possible way. We've seen that so many times, so I get that. But again, I think that if there was any company in the whole world that was in gaming that you could maybe just give the benefit of the doubt, let them just kind of announce it when the time is right, when they actually have a firm understanding, I think it's CD Projekt Red, to be honest.
I think so.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and look, can I also say, like, I actually would really support their desire to monetize this product by some means, right? If you've given me an incredible 60-hour single-player campaign with cutting-edge graphics, incredible story, Keanu fucking Reeves, then I'm okay if you work on a separate multiplayer mode for months or years with separate studio, with separate resources allocated, etc. And then you want to charge me something for that. Like, I'm perfectly fine with monetization in games. It's always about whether or not it's value for money.
That's always been the message, I think, of us at least. It's like, look, if you got to monetize, you got to monetize. I understand that, but make sure it's value for dollar and make sure it's fair.
For sure.
And I just don't. Yeah. So look, again, we don't exactly know what that looks like yet. No one really knows what that looks like yet. I think it would be great if they could clarify what this is. If you're going to go into an earnings call and make those comments, I think naturally the internet is going to go wild with their like, oh my god, what the hell is going to happen?
CD Projekt Red betrayed us.
Exactly. So I think now, based on the reaction, I do expect to see something maybe pretty soon now, you know, just to kind of clear the air and get some clarification.
I don't know. I wonder, because they literally specifically said, like, it's too early for us to provide commentary.
Totally.
So,
but maybe they didn't expect this.
But maybe
backlash.
the cat's out of the bag now and they kind of need to do something. I don't know. But look, I would say, I know it's easy to be like really cynical about every single company in the entire gaming landscape and whatever else. But some of them are good guys, you know what I mean? Some of them do good shit, and like I'm willing to have CD Projekt Red's back, because they've done nothing but right by us for a long time. So I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt on this one.
We're talking about gamers, by the way, not us. Not like they've done the right by us the whole time.
No, that's fine. They did give us these nice jackets.
Yes,
can I say?
And the statues.
And the statues,
they gave us
right?
some statues.
But seriously though, like I feel like, you know, they're a good company, man. Like, and I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt as they feel this next part out. I don't think they're going to rip us off when it comes to multiplayer. Like, I just don't think that. Maybe they will. I'll happily tell you if I'm wrong.
I can't wait for the day Ralph is wrong, everybody.
But I don't think so. So look, I wish them luck with this. I'd say take your time, don't rush it, you know, figure out something right. And I'm sure they will land at something that is interesting and is a fair price, you know, like a fair deal.
Yeah, I think
that's their jam.
I think, you know, they know that they're like on such a pedestal at the moment with a lot of consumers in terms of how they've treated us consumers over the last, you know, 10 years in terms of monetization. I don't think they're going to ruin this by just trying to put some shitty monetization in
like
multiplayer
EA
game.
And like Activision like twirling their mustaches like, we knew you'd join us one day.
I knew it, everybody.
Welcome. Anyway, guys, that's it. There's sure to be more about this story coming up. Sam's got his arm in the air, so this is a good chance for me to keep talking for a while.
I'm going to go. Goodbye.
Don't
long
forget
out.
to like and subscribe.
Long out. I'm saying long out instead of young out now. Long out.